How about now? Can y'all hear me now? I hope. Ugh. It's not a Dion live stream unless there's a technical difficulty. Y'all let me talk for that long and just told me now? But can you hear me now? Because I think... Are we good? I think they're trying to make Drew like the next Elon Musk. Honestly, I kind of said something similar, Kaiwan. Perfect, I'm glad the audio is working. Hey, Angel. Hey, Allison. Hey, Kaiwan. I said hi to y'all earlier, too. I just, didn't know my mic wasn't on. Okay, well... I'm glad, because now we're just starting literally right now, because no one heard me for, like, the last, 5 minutes. Hey, Nathan. Alright, so, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, so, sorry for not being there the last couple of live streams. Like I mentioned, my dog's 1 year anniversary of his death was on Sunday, and it hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. And my mom and my grandmother too. We were all pretty somber, and we just decided to go out together. It was Mother's Day, and we got ice cream from Dairy Queen and some burgers and some onion rings and some fries, and just kind of stayed in the living room and watched TV together for a while. So it was nice, and we got chocolate sundaes as well. But also, on top of being sad for a chunk of days, I also happened to get crazy hay fever. Spring is in full bloom here in Edmonton, and whenever spring goes into full bloom, it kicks my ass for 5 days, and this was no different. So I was sick and sad, and needless to say, it was not fun. Hay fever, you get itchy eyes, so when you're crying and you get itchy eyes, it is brutal. It's brutal. Oh, man. But yeah, welcome to the GHMV Reacts live stream. We're not reacting to any physical videos. I thought it would just be fun to catch up, A, and B, talk about the wedding, because the wedding started today. Wedding episodes... They're hit and miss, right? And oh, okay, well, I'm sorry. Okay. I lost my train of thought now. Oh yeah, weddings. They're hit and miss on GH. There's been a lot more misses than hits lately. So far, I'm not hating the Brooklyn and Chase wedding, and I'm not a huge fan of the couple. But when you have people like Rena Sofer, Wally Kurt, Jane Elliott, all in there doing their thing, and they get to have emotional moments, I literally teared up 3 times because of them. And Amanda didn't do bad either, just for the record. She was in there for all the scenes where I did get choked up. So, kudos to the actors for making me emotional on a wedding I'm kind of meh about, honestly. But so far, so good. The perfect thing, less Brooklyn and Chase, but is their wedding. I mean, yeah, I guess really it was all about the family. And I like that we kind of got introduced to the Sorellos. I mean, obviously there's some extras in there just kind of being the Sorellos, and they have that violinist who was actually a violinist in real life. I think his name is Gio or something like that, the actor. Or maybe that's the character's name. I don't know. But he's there, and of course he shared his first scenes with Jocelyn. He kind of reminds me of Cam a little. There's something about his face that reminds me of Cam. What else? Oh, the honorable mention for a moment that had me slightly emotional. Didn't think it would, but I'm glad it did. Bradford Anderson and Steve Burton for reuniting as Jason and Spinelli. My heart. My heart, it was perfect. It was a perfect moment. First of all, Bradford Anderson, like, as much as he's into like the comedy thing and being quirky and stuff, when he gets choked up, it chokes me up. And Jason's reaction, like, it really was truly reminiscent of like the late 2000s, like the early days of Spinelli and Jason's one-sided bromance. For the most part, one-sided. Jason obviously cares about Spinelli, but I loved that they had him like tackle hug Jason, and Jason just kind of fell into it and slightly pushed him off, which is classic Jason. And then when Spinelli tried to give him another hug, and he just like pushed him back, and like Spinelli, like, I know Jason fixed Spinelli's tie, I think, or was it vice versa? I think they both tried. I think Spinelli tried to fix Jason's tie, and and Jason just kind of slapped him off. But it was classic them. So now I totally get what Steve and Bradford and Kirsten were talking about in their podcast. I'm kind of sad we didn't get to see a Spinelli, Maxie, and Jason reunion. I know it's gonna come because they've obviously been talking about it on that podcast. But I was hoping we'd see it then and like have Spinelli like ask for Jason advice on like renewing their relationship and stuff. Little brother, big brother. Yeah. BLQ's cousin is going to be a recurring character. Possibly. I've heard both things. I heard that he's just like a guest appearance, and I've also heard that he could be reoccurring. I mean, I'm down for another person living at the Q. Well, no, he wouldn't live at... No, he might live at the Q's. Because Lois is there. I think Brooklyn and Chase's apartment is too small. You think he's going to be Sonny's son or nephew? I hope not, but it was interesting because he asked about Sonny. He asked if Sonny was going to be there. So I am curious. Curious. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the only reason why I'm like not ruling out that he's just a guest star is because he's not an actor. He's a violinist, and this is his first acting gig. They're making a big deal of his casting. Yeah, but because he's like pretty known and like as a musician, like a violinist, so I don't know. Maybe they're hoping he'll catch on, and maybe he will. And I hope that if he is recurring, that he brings the acting chops, because he is surrounded by talented people. Like, man. Love the Danny and Jason scenes at the warehouse the other day, you were saying, Nathan. You said, I thought Sam had a tracker on him, though, or is Sam not paying attention these days? Sam's not paying attention. It is what it is. That reminds me, speaking of Sam, the one kind of jarring moment in the episode, and I don't know if y'all caught it. It was at the beginning, maybe. So basically, Sam and Dante, I think, were talking to Willow. I think they were talking to someone inside the church, and then the next scene, Michael and Sam are outside greeting people, and I don't think it was supposed to be like a cut between, because that's the only moment like that we had. Otherwise, everything was pretty smooth in terms of like where people were. People were getting ready. There weren't like any big time gaps, so it was just weird. It was weird. I wonder, will he be paired for Trina, because the rumor on the street is Joshua Bernard is going to come back and be paired with Trina? I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm assuming Josh would be playing the same character he played before. And I'd rather him with Joss, because that was their story. Yeah, Trina was around for some of it, but I don't know. Yeah, weird cuts this week. That was the weirdest. But yeah, you're right though. There were some other scenes earlier in the week that were a bit weird in how they went back and forth with it. Some clunky stuff, but in terms of today's episode, that was the only glitch I really noticed. Everything else seemed pretty seamless in how the scenes were playing out. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much more to say about the wedding. I'm kind of upset that like Michael Easton and Gregory and Josh didn't really do anything for me, because I mean, it could be happening next episode given how this episode ended. Poor Gregory's having a episode while he's doing the ceremony, and there's like a shot of everyone just reacting and holding each other's hands and looking sad and scared, and like that sucks, man. I mean, I'm not surprised it's gonna happen. And I don't know what I want the outcome to be for the wedding. I don't want Gregory to have to leave the wedding. And I feel like he'll be crushed that he couldn't complete the the words he has to say. But also I don't hate the idea of Tracy stepping in for him either. But Tracy's not an ordained minister, right? Where I'm assuming Chase was. Although, hey de Havilland. Although, I know that they planned for a backup, so maybe Tracy was the backup. Maybe I missed that. Yeah, Kaiwan, I think I see that coming too. I don't think he's gonna pass away on the wedding night, because that'd be so damn mean. Like, that would be crucially awful for Finn and Chase, like for their wedding day to be like the saddest day of their life as well. For Brooklyn and Chase, I mean. Oh, you hope Finn and Elizabeth have a good story together. I hope so too, honestly. Elizabeth's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit since these new writers stepped in. Nathan, you said looking forward to the Jason Drew scenes tomorrow. Jason leaving Drew on red has me LOL. I just know Drew has a burn book featuring Jason. I'm just so like, I'm not here for like the animosity between them, because like, why? Because he came back and you knew Carly was his number one guy, but you were already in bed with Nina, so like, what now? You just get an online certificate to marry people. You don't have to be a preacher, a priest, or a judge to marry people. I know, I'm just wondering if Tracy had gone online to like become an ordained minister, like on the fly. Like I just I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about it. I knew that they came up with a backup plan. I just don't know what it was. If Tracy is the backup plan, I don't hate it. But I also feel bad for Gregory for not being able to complete the ceremony himself. At the very least, I hope he's standing up there with Tracy as she speaks for him. And like I said, I don't hate the idea of Tracy doing the ceremony, because, for Brooklyn, Tracy is the most, aside from obviously her mother, Tracy's been such an important person in Brooklyn's life. And Gregory is obviously an important person in Chase's life. So, I don't know what I want the outcome to be, as long as they pull it off in a way that is acceptable. And I feel like the middle ground is Gregory stays up there and Tracy speaks for him. Yeah. What else to talk about? I mean, judging by the promo, like the promo at the beginning of this week, something's going to happen and someone's going to get hurt, and I'm pretty sure Sonny's going to be the one to hurt him or her or whatever, whoever gets shot. And I think, like, there's 3 obvious people that might just break him down, and it's Jason, and it's Dex, and Michael. Those are my 3 that are like, he's gonna either try to shoot and successfully hit one of them, or try to shoot them and hit someone else by accident. Handy Cavalier to help friends in need with Gregory. What was I gonna say? I'm just trying to think of all the moments in the episode. Jordan and Drew. I would rather them be the couple. They have so much more chemistry than him and Nina, in my opinion. This is the first time we've been graced with Elizabeth's presence. It feels like that, yeah. Like, people noted that when they were kind of having Aiden be dropped off at the queues, and Elizabeth was just swamped and not on screen. I'm like, what? Why? That don't make no sense. But she's here now, and she's stepping in as Auntie Liz for Violet and holding her hand, and that was a sad but sweet moment too. I love the relationship that Elizabeth has with Violet and her relationship with Gregory. Like, both are just so like show like the kind, loving person that she is, and the amount of compassion she has. She really is like everyone's mom. Which is, important as being a head nurse at GH. So good for her. What else to say? Oh, what you were talking about earlier, Kaiwan. Because I'll touch on that. This is earlier from the week. We'll stray away from the wedding now, because there's not much else to say about it, honestly. Other than I like that it was full, lots of extras, appreciated it. But yeah, when you said Drew, like you were trying to see him as like an Elon Musk type character, or you think they're turning him into that. I don't know if I necessarily think Elon Musk, but I would say, like, I feel like they're kind of like grooming him to be like a villain. I feel like it's slowly turning. Like, Angel, you said, I'm kind of turned off by Drew since he started sleeping with Nina. Me too. I think Jordan deserves better. I think it's just weird for me. Like, the Drew and Nina thing makes so very little sense to me. Like, Drew's suddenly like the kind of person that's gonna have hate sex with someone, and like her specifically. It's just so weird. Ooh, the pharmacist and Valentina Neva. We'll talk about that shortly too, because those are probably my favorite scenes so far this week, or maybe if it was last week. I've lost all sense of time at this point, folks. But yeah, Drew, like, he's just a big question mark. A lot of the characters are at the moment. They're doing things that they don't normally do, and a lot of it is jarring. What I'd like to see, like, in a perfect world, Angel, I want Drew to be like, you know what, I'm disgusted with myself that I even bothered to do this, and, like, sleep with you, and just, like, get out of there, and just find someone else. Like, realize that how toxic he was being, and how he let his like, I don't know, his ego or his pride or whatever, or the fact that he's hurting over Carly, like, drive him to do something like that. They've just really been going back and forth. But as for what I was saying, and like, I feel like they are turning Drew into a villain. A lot of it had to do with like the conversation that he had with that politician that he's doing that waterfront for, because like he's like, do you want to be a politician? And he's like, convicted villains are politicians, and they're either crooks or morons or both. Sounds about right in the States at the moment. Yikes. But yeah, just a vibe that I got. Like, yeah, they were talking about like all the great things he can do, and let this be his redemption. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I just got the vibe that like Drew is going to turn into a person that's going to use his power as a politician to get away with shady things. Because we know he's capable of doing shady things already. Cameron Matheson's Drew is just weird. Hate sex does happen with people. Oh, I know that, but like considering what Nina did, like she like got them in trouble with the SEC. She got him sent to jail. He got beat up in there. Lost months with his daughter. I just feel like, given how quickly it happened, like, that's so bizarre to me. So bizarre. But yeah, I don't know. I just want him away from Nina. People still get the vibe that he might sleep with Willow too. I don't see it. I think they're just trying to emphasize how close they are. Cameron's Drew is a downgrade from Billy's Drew. I mean, that's the thing. Like, Billy Miller was such a great actor, and he really got the shit end of the stick when Steve Burton came back. Let's be real. The first time he came back. And I don't know. He was a great actor, and like just what they brought to the character of Drew, who honestly has always been a question mark, because there's so many unanswered questions about what his mindset is and if he still has all Jason's memories, and they don't talk about that. So it's like, I don't know who he is, and neither do the writers. And now it's just like, it's just weird. I don't know. This is a character they probably shouldn't have brought back, to be honest. Unless they really knew what they were going to do with him, or addressed the things that they should have addressed when he got back. Hey, Jakarius. Hope you're well. Oh, man. What else? Oh, okay. Let's quickly get into the Ava stuff. The Ava stuff. I still can't quite read Ava at the moment. What the hell are they doing to Jason? What do you mean? Maybe cut one. But yeah, anyway, I can't read Ava. She's now investigating what's going on with the pills. She goes to the pharmacist, claims to be Sonny's wife, which somehow works, and just kind of asks all these questions about the pills, and if there's like a possible glitch in the pills, and it scares him into calling Valentine, and Valentine is supposedly going to take care of it. And on top of that, I think, well, Jagger has been tailing her, or the FBI has been tailing her, and she was calling his bluff, and then he just like took out his notepad and read every single thing that she did. And you know, she's on the defense now. She's just like, I don't know, she's just like, you stay away from me, don't mess with me. I think Ava's gonna crack under pressure, but I'm like, is she going to ever tell Sonny about these pills? Because what is the point in her knowing? Is she going to try to solve who's behind it? Like, what is her intention by seeking out whether it's true or not? Well, I mean, she knows that the pills are less. You know, they're 10% in terms of their whatever you call it, dosage of the medicine. But I don't know. What she's gonna do with it is a mystery. Nina, do you have sexual tension? Because I thought they were going to do it the first time. No, I don't think they'll mess around. That'd be crazy if they did, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Unless Michael's the one that gets shot and then Drew comforts Willow and in a weak moment. That would be crazy. For Willow just to jump into bed with Michael's uncle, essentially. Like... Oh, Lord. But yeah, they have been getting everyone to be out of character, so anything goes. It'll be so stupid if they do, but I don't think they will. I don't know. I didn't see them having sexual tension. I just was like, I don't know. I didn't see it myself. Yeah, they got Drew after like 3 different women, or like interacting with 3 different women all at the same time, and like building a repertoire between each of these people. It's just like, to what end? To what end? Which one are you going to choose? Caroline, you asked, do you like Michael and Sasha talking? That was some conversation, having been like 3 or 4 years. It's I didn't hate it. I think, like, even though we haven't seen much of it because of how Sasha's life has been playing out, and Willow's, to be honest, they had a solid friendship even after they broke up. You know, like, they all managed to be civil. They just had different things going on, but I think that they've always stayed friends. I mean, they were mad, of course, at Sasha and Chase initially for faking an affair to get them to be together so that they'd be a stronger force against Nell. But after, you know, they forgave each other and they seem to be on okay ground. So I'm not surprised that they're both cool with, like, being in that house. And, you know, Michael's family is still good to Sasha all the time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she didn't mention Brando. You're right. I caught that, too. Or not Brando. Yeah, Brando. Like, it was weird. Brando who? She's into Cody now. It was a little bit silly that she was like... Or no, that Michael was like hard on Cody and being like, what are your intentions with Sasha? As if you get a say, Michael. You like... Boy, sit down. That man literally went into an institution and like risked his life to get her out of there and hide out with her and risk getting arrested and all this shit. And you're asking her if he's gonna hurt her at this point? Ridiculous. Do I think that Sonny and Blaze's mother will mess around de Havilland? Probably. They probably will. I don't like Natalia, you said, Jacarius. I mean, I'm not thrilled with her either. Obviously, she's just like a very controlling mom. And that bothers me. I don't like people that are like going after their grown-ass kids and like trying to control their lives when they have no right. Like, Blaze, I think, is probably in her mid-20s by now, I would assume. Sam had kids by 2 brothers. She's not the first, and she won't be the last. That like it doesn't faze me on GH anymore. There's only so many guy characters that aren't related to each other at this point. How about you think that Natalia is a Carly clone? Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they brought up the fact that Blaze had a brother for nothing. He's obviously going to come here at one point. Come to Port Charles, I mean. I don't think you're supposed to like Natalia. That's true. But I don't think we're supposed to hate her. I think we're supposed to, like, hope that she figures out how to accept her daughter for who she is. And I'm rooting for that to happen, but mostly for Blaze's sake and Christina's sake. Yeah, Alexa's got... Yeah, exactly, Angel. Alexa's got kids by 2 brothers, too. So, like, you know, mother like daughter, I guess. It's the Cassadine way. Because so did Helena. With Mikos and Victor. Or they're supposed to be cousins, but they were brothers originally. For the record. They changed it at some point. Or no, they were cousins originally and then brothers... I think after, right? Something like that. Liz has 3 different baby daddies. Yeah, but are they brothers? That's the deal breaker, Angel. Who is it? It was Xander and Lucky and who am I missing? And Jason. Wow, I forgot that. Yikes. She's a bitch to everyone but Sunny. Yeah. She's attracted by his charm and how he talks to her and flirts with her and whatever. But I don't know. I'm curious if she knows like what he does for a living. Valentine is on to Ava. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that. I think I don't know what Valentine's gonna do. I mean, I don't really care. Like, if Valentine's on Ava, like, that we'll have to see how that plays out. He's either gonna make her disappear or blackmail her into doing something for him. We'll see. But I'm kind of more worried for Anna. I'm worried that Valentine might know Anna too well to know that she's trying to, you know, get close with him to figure things out. Because even Jack said, Anna's not stupid. Anna's like the smartest, one of the smartest people that ever was in the WSB. All this stuff. So, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. Oh yeah, Sam, Drew, and Jason. Yeah, she thought she was just having another baby with Jason. And then there was a time where they thought that Franco and Jason were twins, so like it would have been the same thing. Carly. Wait. Stole your line. What can I say? We have the same mind. Alexis knew Sonny and Rick were brothers. Yeah, that's true. That is true. To Heaven, you don't think Ava will tell Sonny about the pills? Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting and seeing what's going to happen. It might be too little too late, though, but I think she's got to see that she's on the brink of losing Sonny, even if she doesn't keep him off the meds. So, or even if she does keep him off the meds, I mean. She was assaulted by Franco, so not her fault. That's true. That's true. What else? trying to think of other interesting things that happened last week and this week. But my mind, honestly, my mind just went into a haze as soon as I got hay fever. And all time is weird to me at the moment. I don't know, I just feel like it wasn't uninteresting last week. It just feels like things are kind of slowing down in terms of like stories that they started out with. It's like they don't know how to continue the ones that they started, and I think we're just in a weird limbo. Okay, yeah, Carly doesn't have kids by brothers. She will sleep with them though. This is true. Who? What's the only interesting thing that's about the show? Who? Honestly, I'm just glad that we have this wedding right now. Like, it's hard. I feel like they seem to be making an effort to give the nostalgia of what soap weddings were like, and I think that given the budget's probably a lot less than what it was, I think they're doing a good job with it. Do I wish we got to see Coney Island? Hell yeah. Did I think we were going to see Coney Island? Hell no. So that didn't bother me. Kaiwan, you gotta finish the sentence. I don't know what you mean. What's the most interesting thing about the show? But yeah, I'm glad that we have this wedding because we know that we're gonna see a lot of the cast and they're all gonna be together and there's something's going down. I'm glad that we have that. And that it's kind of checking off all the boxes for like soap tropes of like we got returning characters like Lois's mom, and I don't know if Carmine, have we seen Carmine before? Is that someone that we've seen in the 90s, or have we seen him since then? Was he there when Gloria came back? Also, we didn't even see a scene of Gloria and Sunny. That kind of bothers me. Oh, Coney Island. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I don't know anything about Coney Island other than it's pretty infamous, like, boardwalk carnival vibe. Okay. I also, even though, okay, one moment I appreciated it, even though, like, it's a bit silly, but I just liked it for how it was. I forget how one of the Cirillos was definitely flirting with Michael, and he was terrified of her and like, gotta find my wife. And Sam's like, well, he is a good dancer, because she asked him to save her a dance. I appreciated that. Little moments like that don't necessarily need to be there, but it adds a little razzle-dazzle to the show. Hey, Sabrina. Adds a little bit of razzle-dazzle to the show. I just appreciate those sprinkled moments. And I hope we get to see more Cirillo chaos. Also, forgot about this. So sweet watching Dante walk down the aisle with Lois. Like, I hate that we've not really gotten to see them interact at all since she's been back. When she really... I want her to be close to Olivia's son, you know? I just... They're not showing that relationship. That's one thing I do want. Yeah, exactly, Angel. Like, realistically, we're never going to see GH travel somewhere to shoot. Anywhere other than their parking lot, the park down the street, wherever they shoot that, and, you know, occasionally a warehouse that's outside somewhere. It is what it is. But I like that they are trying with, they're working with what they got, and they're not doing a half bad job so far. At least in terms of this wedding. There's obviously some lackluster things happening elsewhere. There hasn't been a whole lot of action. There's a lot of jarring character switches, and that's all a mess. But I am truly rooting for these writers to just like find their footing and hit the ground running once they do. Because obviously I want the show to succeed. GH is on its 61st year now, and I guess in order to wrap up the end of the 60th year, they are now calling the stage where they shoot GH the General Hospital stage. So even after GH is long gone, it'll still be the General Hospital stage, which is really cool. It means that their legacy is always going to stay at that building. What else to say? What else do I got to say? Not a whole lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't got much more to say. Those were kind of all the interesting things. I appreciated Nina and Ava's scene the other day of them at the art gallery. And I appreciate that there seems to be an attempt at Nina having some tat about herself. Like, she's learning to listen now, and she's learning that she can be a professional and keep things professional, but also make sure that whoever she's beefing with is on notice. Has that building always been that building or no? Like where they shoot GH? That hasn't always been where GH was shot, where they are now. I forget what it's called, the actual studio. But before, I think, sometime in the 80s, they went to where GH shoots now. Or maybe late 70s, early 80s. But before that, it was in a different building. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to add. Oh yeah, just to wrap up the Nina stuff. I appreciate that they're maturing her, and she's finally not overdoing it with Willow. She's making sure she leaves and doesn't push and doesn't want to invite her to dinners and all this other stuff. Like, she's learning, and that's truly something that I want for the character. Like, get her out of being dumb. Get her out of being dumb. She even had the grace to like go to Carly and be like, "You were right about Sunny. Just, I wanted to give you that." And I appreciated their conversation with each other when Carly was like, I don't look back. I'm not going that way. I appreciated that. And I think that Nina might take Carly's advice and be like, you know what? She right though. I'm moving on to a new chapter. Don't know what it is yet, but happy that I'm going that way. So it's a good thing to live by when you've gone through hell. It's like, you can either, there's two things you can do about that. It's like, you can either be stuck in the hatred and the resentment and the sadness and mourn and mope and use that to be a shitty person, or you could take what you went through, mourn it for as long as you need to, but then pick yourself back up and just start going somewhere else. Like, move on. Hopefully Nina doesn't regress. Seeing Nina act out makes me think Nell never had a chance. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because, like, I don't want Nina to be like Nell. Like, so that they can't be like, well, it must run in the DNA. Like, no. Nell's upbringing is what really made her a garbage person. I think the best woman for Sunny is Carly. I think that women are at their best when they're not with Sunny. to be frank, every woman that's ever dated Sunny or married him or whatever, been with him, has either tied themselves into knots over this man, and this man will treat them like trash the moment he feels betrayed. It's obviously 10 times bigger right now because of his med situation. But like generally speaking, he throws them out like they're trash if they're not loyal to him. That's just always been his thing. Like we've seen it with Brenda, we've seen it with Carly, we've seen it with anyone he's been with at this point. And I don't know. And if they're not women tying themselves into knots over Sunny, they get killed because of him. It's like, I don't know. Sunny just needs to be alone. Sunny needs to find himself and just be a dad and I guess be a mobster. Like, he's not gonna give up that life, you know what I mean? But just like do your own thing, man. Stop bringing women into this situation. It always ends badly for him and for the women. Just leave the woman of Port Charles alone. Is what I'm getting at. Be with Natalia for all I care. She doesn't technically live in Port Charles, and I don't think she'll be staying. I hope she's not staying. Poor Blaze will never get to have like a peaceful life. That's how they've written that in that bloodline and the family with Nina, now Nell and Willow. I mean, I don't know. Willow, she's not made poor choices, but if they like Willow doesn't seem to be a vengeful person like Nina was and like Nell was. And she doesn't become obsessed with trying to get people back no matter how much damage they've done and they can't see like their own flaws. I want Nina to see her flaws and own them and like just try to do better. Just try. Like, I think Nina gave Nell the genetic imprint to not be mentally well. Then Nell's environment didn't help. Nina was plotting and revenging since she came to Port Charles. Yeah, but Nina also, like, back then, like, I can't blame Nina for the trauma that her mom put her through. Like, essentially, yeah, she had a mental psychotic break and tried to go after Ava and Silas and Sam and all the early days that I'm forgetting like the bullet points, but something to that effect. She was out for revenge for sure, but she ended up in a 20-year coma and had the mind of a 20-year-old at 40. So like I don't know. I have a little bit of grace there and a little bit of compassion for that, and so I don't think it's necessarily like she's genetically wired to be mentally ill. She went through a situation that caused her to have a mental break. And then she kind of fixed herself for like a long time. It was not great storylines for her, but the woman got the help she needed and got her life back together. And then her obsession with Carly, like, it just, I don't know. Let her learn. That's all I'm gonna say. Crazy Jean skipped Willow. I don't think it's a gene. I think it's just she went through a shitty thing, and unfortunately Nell did too. Like, Nell had a dick for a father. Nina's never talked to a professional about her trauma. I mean, she wasn't in a mental institution. I don't know generally how those works. I would figure that there'd be a therapist in there somewhere, right? Whether we've seen it or not, I don't know. But they could easily just mention that she's done it, and it would make sense. Which reminds me, and I don't know if this is like the best way to segue into it, but I guess there's been a lot of talk about Nancy Lee Grand's post about Haley from either yesterday or the day before. and people are like saying she's like supporting like drunk driving and this and that. And I hadn't seen the post, and I read it earlier today, and I was like, this doesn't strike me as she's like condoning like anything. Like I think that Nancy is being mama bear, you know. She's trying to get people to have a bit of compassion for a woman who's essentially been acting with her since she was a little girl. So I can't blame her for being all mama bear about it. But and I also just don't see that she's making excuses for her. People were saying that too. I'm like, I don't think so. I think what like the reality is in that situation is we truly only have like what has been in like essentially gossip soap magazines and like media outlets that aren't exactly known for their honesty, essentially, and hearsay. And Haley has not been able to like say anything to give her side of the story. Nancy convinced me was supporting Haley. Nancy doesn't have remorse for anyone else. Like, how do you figure, like, in terms of like Haley's situation? Because she's glad no one got hurt, and she's just saying like Haley's holding herself accountable. She knows it's wrong. I know it's wrong. I just think that like I don't make with me. I think drinking should be illegal. I mean, yeah, drinking and driving is it is illegal. She messed up. There's no doubt about it. I'm just saying that like the other things that we heard of the story, like that's okay. What we do know for sure is that she got drunk, she got in a car, and she caused an accident that seriously injured someone very badly and caused a wreck between two cars. But everything else that was kind of added into that story about her being a brat towards the firemen and talking about some blouse and stuff, like that's all been things that people are like really throwing eggs at her for. I think that they've really painted Haley to be entitled. Was it stupid she got in the car? Yes. But we don't know that she was doing all those things that like these stories were claiming she would be. So like, if this is another superstar, Nancy would be condemning them. Well, she's sweet on Haley. Well, that's what I'm saying. She's a mama bear. She's in mama bear mode. Like, she's been acting with Haley since the girl was like, what, 8 years old? So like, I can't, wouldn't you want to like have people be like, can you please just like go easy on her? You don't know the whole story. You know what the gossip sites are saying to you. And like I was going to say, Haley has not been able to share her side of the story. Because she's not been in a position to go onto social media. She's been in rehab this whole time, and she's going to jail. Like, there's no window for her to defend herself. So I feel like Nancy just felt like she should share what Haley shared with her. To that end, we know how this goes, right? There's two sides to a story. There's, this person's side, and the truth, right? So I feel like Haley could have potentially told her how she sees it, maybe how it happened to an extent, but I feel like the truth is somewhere in the middle. Maybe she messed up in other ways that were kind of entitled. She was drunk. Who knows, right? I'm just thinking like, hate her for the crime that she did, but cut the other stuff out because you don't know any of that other stuff is true. I feel like Nancy was just kind of bottom lining it. She made a really bad mistake. It was a messed up thing for her to do, but she's trying to take accountability. She checked herself into rehab voluntarily. She's paying all the medical bills of this person, in every way that she can. and she's going into jail and not complaining about it. She's just owning what she did and taking responsibility for it in every possible way that she can. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's the situation. I don't condone it, obviously not. She messed up. She deserves to be there in jail. The solitary confinement thing is wild, though. Like, that seems bizarre to me. Haley was trying to avoid jail time. Haley honestly deserved more time. The person could have died. Haley could have died. Haley isn't getting my sympathy. I don't play when it comes to that stuff. Okay, but we only know that the stories in those gossip sites are claiming that she's trying to avoid jail time. Like, you don't know Haley, right, Angel? Like, you're not friends. You don't know her personally. You know her social media and, like, the gossip sites. So you can't really judge her in that way. It's not... It's stupid. It's a stupid thing to do. But, like, I get it. Like, it's a messed up thing. I've had friends that were hurt in drunk incidents, okay? I've had friends that have died to a drunk driver. I get it. But, like, it's the razzle-dazzle sparkly shit that, like, you know, media does for clicks. Like, there's no proof that she was, like, saying, do you know how much this blouse cost? Like, all this stuff. Like, we don't know that. There's no video of her doing that to a fire truck. We don't know that. So it's like, I don't know. 90 days, like, in solitary confinement, that's a little messed up. I want to know why that's happening. I'm curious about that happening. Because that's, like, why? Like, is it the fact that she's a celebrity that she's being isolated in that way? Or is she just literally having to sit in a cell that no one else can see into? Like, that's what I'm confused. She deserves what she gets. Yeah, I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve it. I'm just confused about the solitary confinement thing. Like, what's... You know what I mean? Like, is that like a normal thing that people that cause accidents and drunk driving, like by driving drunk, is that like a regular thing? I don't know anything about that. More than likely because she is a celebrity. See, I would believe that. But there's just no, I don't know, there's just no elaborating on Nancy's part about that. So it is what it is. She's on the same place as where Lindsay Lohan was at. So I got the, and I think this was on Nancy's post, or I seen this somewhere else. Apparently Haley works at some kind of bar. She drank after her shift and then drove drunk after. And it makes sense that she would have like a side job, I guess. But more than likely because she is a celebrity. But she's not like a famous one. You know, like who that doesn't watch GH would recognize her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's not a celebrity. She's like a girl that acts on a soap. But most people are gonna be like, who? Realistically. Now, I don't know if she's on the same level as Lindsay Lohan is, because Lindsay Lohan was like on everything imaginable. Like, girl was clearly on some hard ass drugs, and thankfully, and I'm proud of Lindsay, she eventually cleaned her act up. She's got a kid. She looks happy and healthy. She's married. She had her redemption moment, and she's back in acting and doing what she loves, and is very much like what Lindsay Lohan really should have grown up to be. Hopefully Haley can do that for herself as well, but we're not gonna really know until after she's out. She's getting special treatment. That's the problem. I mean, we're guessing she's getting special treatment because she's a celebrity, though. We don't know that, Angel. That's what I'm saying. She's famous enough to be in TMZ and ew. Yeah, because there's a demographic of like soap fans that are gonna know what those articles are about, that are going to click those articles. But I guarantee you, most people that are watching like TMZ content, they're not soap viewers. But yeah, again, like we can't judge people on things that we are guessing, is what I'm getting at. Because there are people that get shit on for like the biggest lies ever, right? We can only like, I don't know, we can only go by like hearing both sides of the story, and any witness that was physically there. If we need to go by the proof of what we got. There's no proof that she's in solitary confinement because she's a celebrity. There's no proof that she acted a certain way in front of a fire engine. Yeah, it's hearsay. That's what I'm saying. They're like basing things on hearsay is like the dumbest thing you can do. Like it is truly like, and same with like believing like everything you hear on like on gossip outlets like Soap Digest and like TMZ and Entertainment Weekly, all those things. It's like and even like Fox News for that matter, because I think they reported it too. But like there is like a caveat for any news outlet. They need to sell the stories. They want to get clicks, so they're gonna embellish as much as they want. They're gonna throw sprinkles of the truth in there because they need to have the basic story. But everything else is razzle dazzle. She wasn't an actress on a soap, she wouldn't have gotten 3 months. Now, how she left that car. Some normal people get slaps with minimum jail time for that. Man, so I mean, here's the thing. Okay, here's one thing that I don't know about. Oh, good night, Sabrina. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up in a moment here anyway. The only thing that I know, there was 2 cars. Were both people in both of those cars injured? Like, who was the ultimate hurt person? Because I've only heard thing about one person, but I've not heard about a second person. So I'm a little confused as to what that whole situation is. But yeah, I just I don't know, because I don't know the whole story. I can't judge it, but none of us really truly know the whole story. Oh, actually, I appreciate that, Law Angel. Yeah, I seen the picture of the car for sure, yeah. Like, and she now has to pay for all of those people's medical bills. And that's no small thing. Like, that's a shit ton over there in America. But I've also, like, to that end, I've seen drunk drivers, like, get just that much time as she is without being a celebrity, by doing very similar things to what she did. Checking themselves into rehab, holding herself accountable, you know, all this stuff. So, I don't know. But I can't speak to that situation. First of all, I don't drive. Let me get that out of the way. I would never drink and drive. I'd like to think that I would never drink and drive. I'm trying to think of like when I was Haley's age. I feel like I would be too on edge to even attempt it. Like, thinking about like my maturity level in my very early 20s, I think I would rather get into an Uber. Because if I am that sloshed, I do not want to drive. I can barely walk into a cab. Like that's what I feel like my mind frame would be like. I would leave my car there because like there's no way. Yeah, but you're tough on it for the wrong reasons though, because you're jumping to a lot of conclusions on hearsay. That shit's stupid. It, like, if you have all the information, go hard. But if you're basing it on certain other things, it's like, I don't know. You're assuming because she's a celebrity, she's getting special treatment. I know people that got the other stuff, you know, or got pretty much what she did, and they're not celebrities. So you can't really use that as a debate. Although I don't know if they got solitary confinement, because I don't know them that alive, you know? Yeah, oh no, I completely agree with you. Like, they do need to go harder on it, but I don't think that her 90-day sentence is necessarily because she's a celebrity. I'm thinking whether she genuinely did this because she knows she messed up and wanted to check herself into rehab and do all this, you know, we don't know what her mindset is because we're not her. We're jumping to conclusions based on little things that we heard. A lot of people are calling her entitled because they heard the blouse story. So it's like, I don't know. And the story of her treating the hospital staff like trash. We don't know any of that. We don't know if any of that's real. But yeah, hella freaking stupid that she drunk drove. Like, I think, I don't know. I don't get people that want to risk it. She almost unalived this person. Yes, but they are alive. That's the reality. Had that person died, she'd be in there for many years because that person survived, and you know, they're on the mend. It's a different, you know, it's semantics at this point. Like, yeah, like she almost unalived that person. Yeah, it was dumb, but they're still alive. They have a life. I don't know. I know that there's permanent damage to this person. But I don't know what, like, I don't know the details of what's damaged in that person or not. And as far as we know, based on what Haley told Nancy, she'll be paying their medical expenses indefinitely. So, you know, I guess that's the perk of having that kind of money. I guess that's the advantage there, is that well, I mean, essentially the injured party, whoever it was, at least doesn't have to think about that. But I think the person, from what I heard, based on like actual details that were broadcasted, like things that you can like check in public setting situations, is she's also suing the bar that Haley works at as well. So I think, you know, that person is going to the bank and taking advantage of the fact that their life was messed up by this idiot that, you know, drunk and drove and crashed into them. But yeah, it's I don't know what y'all got going on in Canada, but we got to go harder in the US. I mean, I'm not a big news watcher to begin with. There have definitely been drunk driving situations. Like I said, I've known someone that's gotten in a car accident because of a drunk driver, different things. But I only know like those specific stories. So I don't know how it compares. No, Kaiwan, if you watched the last live stream, I said I'm not reacting to non-general hospital. Not unless it's something like Jeannie Francis's birthday, and we can watch her work on different shows then. But we're not. The GHMV reacts are gonna mostly be for GH, unless it's a special occasion. Like we watched that show that Nancy and her, I've already forgotten his name, the screen partner that she worked with on a different soap. We watched it to kind of get like a glimpse of why that's exciting. Like there was a reason for it. Just like when we reacted to, I forget the other soap, maybe Another World, whatever, the one that Laura Wright and Cynthia Watros were in together. They're two GHers acting in a scene together on a different soap. That's the kind of things that like I would watch in those situations. Jeannie being on days, like that would be something I would save for like, let's have a reaction in honor of Jeannie Francis's birthday. Then we can watch her work in other shows. But like for the no special occasion stuff, it's just I'm keeping it GH. The emotional and mental trauma, not just physical. Yeah. Oh, I know. But I'm assuming that, well, it's likely that this person is gonna go for therapy, and Haley's gonna have to pay for that too. Like I'm assuming, I don't know, like I'm assuming there's some kind of written contract that they've gotten into. What it covers, I don't know. We're only really going to learn like the extent of it, I think, once Haley gets out of jail and we see what happens then. But her life is ruined forever now too. Like she's got to live with the fact that she got in a car drunk and nearly killed someone. That is also going to involve mental trauma and also physical, I bet, because I'm assuming she got hurt too, because initially we knew she got into an accident and got hurt. So like, Haley's not paying for it. Like she's going through her own shit, and yes, you can argue that people that drink and drive should get more than 90 days, but it's not because she's a celebrity. It's because that's just sadly the rules in the States. So I don't know, it's not Haley's fault that she got 90 days. We just don't know. We don't know her side of the story, and I feel like beyond what Nancy told us, and maybe for all we know, maybe Nancy embellished a little bit too. We don't know. We'll never truly know. All we can do is hopefully at some point have someone sit her down and like do an interview about it, because why not? I can see Maurice doing it down the road, in all honesty, because I don't think that Maurice is paying his friends to do these interviews with him. You know what I mean? You're being way too soft on her. No, I'm not. That's your opinion, Angel. I'm just being honest. Like, she messed up her whole life as well. I'm just saying, we don't know shit, Angel. You don't know shit. We don't know shit. We can't judge based on how we feel about a person. That's all I'm saying. Because of hearsay and all this stuff. Like, my friend was badly hurt. Like, am I pissed at the drunk driver? Yeah. And now their life is messed because of it, which they deserve. That's why this country is like it is. I think your problems in that country go far beyond like, going easy on certain things. Although a lot of it is based on that for sure. But there is so much more wrong than just like being, slap on the wrist about certain things and going all in on the others. And like, there's definitely a two-tiered system in terms of like people that have the money and people that are just kind of regular citizens. Sorry, my allergies are acting up a little bit. I don't want to sneeze. But yeah, I think the problems there go way beyond anything that I can even imagine. And like the violence, a lot of it is like just like when I hear about like school shootings over there, it's so wild to me because like the fix seems obvious to me because we don't have, we have guns are essentially banned over here, right? We don't have school shootings at all. Like we've not had one, so like it would work. And then, but I don't know. There's just like this weird mentality amongst a certain group of people that like they're trying to take away their guns. We're like, no, they're just trying to make you more responsible. They want to make it harder for you to get guns is what they're trying to do. Because not everyone should just be able to walk into a store and get one at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about that. And that's, I guess, kind of diving into politics. But like, it just, I've been in Canada my whole life. I'm like, it seems to work here. Yeah, people can get guns illegally, but like, it doesn't happen all too often. I guess it comes down to like what cities and provinces you're in too, I suppose. But it's just like, I don't know, a lot of it just comes down to population and how big a city is. If they're a bigger city, they're gonna have more crime. But we've just never had like a school shooting. So it seems like, I don't know, there's something to be said about that. And it's not like people don't have like, guns for protection and stuff. Like, there's just heavy rules around it. There's like heavy legislation, what you need to do or be to own one. It's not like walking into a store and things like that. So like, it's just it talks about drinking, guns, domestic violence, everything. Yeah, it's the fact that the laws are very lax on everything, but then they'll throw the book at someone who like smoked weed. That's so ass backwards over there. Like, that should be wild to me. Like even here, like when weed was still illegal, which was like almost 10 years ago at this point. Like, people still smoked it. Some of them smoked it in front of officers. Nothing happened. Whereas like the States, they really threw the book at people over there. And this isn't like smoking weed and driving. Like, I'm talking about like just like hanging out in a park smoking it. Like, police would walk by and be like, "Don't hurt anyone." Like that. That's what it was. Yeah, there's no consistency. Yeah, that's like, I don't know enough about too much about overall laws in Canada. I'm not in a situation where I need to constantly know what's what, thankfully. But like, yeah, it does. It's like, it's a slippery slope. Like, to let each province kind of handle their own. Like, I feel like in some ways they're entitled to meet the needs in different ways than other provinces because of where they're located and how big they are and all these. I think there's different things, but there are things that should be across the board the same consistently for every province and state in the U.S. Over in Europe, they are more stricter and have better results. Like, as do we. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, people call it a gun ban. Sure, call it that, but like, it works. Our kids aren't getting shot at in schools. Like, I don't know. Some of it just seems like obvious to me, and then they have to make it like a political thing because, I don't know. I feel like it comes down to like media again. It's like there are certain news people that are convincing people they want to take away your guns, and it's like, no, they don't. They just want you to have to be mentally stable enough to own one. Like, so that they don't go into a school and shoot someone. Like, I don't disagree with you, Angel. That's why I haven't been back there in like 8 years. More than 8 years, actually, by now. When was the last time I went? 2015, I think, was the last time I was in the States. I think. Pretty sure. Somewhere around there. Alright, well, we talked for way longer than we thought. Like, which is, you know, I think it's fair. Stop before I get hit up by YouTube. Yeah, that's the scary thing. You never know who's watching. But yeah, I don't mind that I stayed on a little longer. I missed 2 streams with y'all. But before I go, just to quickly mention it, I'm playing a show next Friday. I'm really excited about it. We're rehearsing on this Friday. Sorry, next Friday I'm performing. This Friday we're rehearsing. So we don't have a video reaction lined up. No, but we'll talk about it Sunday. And then we'll set up something that day for Wednesday. Just so that it's more fresh in our minds then. Good night, SLJ. But yeah, performing next Friday. I'm excited about it. It's going to be the same songs. I'm also performing at the end of August. Really excited about that one too. But both venues I'm so stoked for because I've been to so many concerts at both of them. It's like an exciting thing. And like my drummer's really excited about next week because it's like an infamous venue here. And like he's never even played. And he's been in a band for several years now. So it's like, I just love that we're all so happy about it. So yeah, stay tuned for those clips. You got fined by Facebook? Like you had to pay something? What? That's insane. I don't know. I maybe I've been lucky on Facebook. I've never really been dinged for anything. No doubt. That's so crazy. Man. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys this Sunday. I'll let you know how rehearsals go that day. Thanks for tuning in. They gave me a flag. Okay. I thought you had to legitimately pay a fine. I was like, wait, what? This I've never heard of. But yeah, I will catch you guys this Sunday. We'll do a full-on recap, talk about everything that happened this week. I'm hoping the wedding stays interesting. We know it's going to get more interesting. Let's hope they play it off in an exciting way. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe. I'd really appreciate it if you did, if you haven't done so already. Hey, no, that's fair, Angel. That's fair. All right. Good night, y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you.